Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome on the Culture News. My name is David Serero, and I have the pleasure today on iHeartRadio to have over the phone one of the best producers that you can find around. Her name, ladies and gentlemen, is Christina Jo'Leigh. Let me spell it for you. It's Jo'Leigh. She's a wonderful, wonderful producer who has produced many various projects. But the one that we're going to talk today about is this phenomenal drama movie, which has been released in the U.S. not a long time ago, called Polaris, Polaris. This is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful film, and I'm sure you have heard about that movie because I had the pleasure to interview recently two of their wonderful cast members, Kobe Ryan McLaughlin and Alicia Bachleda. Two wonderful actors. Now, ladies and gentlemen, over the phone is the divine, the amazing producer of that. I would say, I like to call it a gem film, really beautiful movie, Christina Jo'Leigh. Christina, how are you today?
I'm well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for taking such an interest in Polaris. I really appreciate it.
It's really an honor, and let me tell you, this movie really speaks for its own, and I had the pleasure to watch it, and what a beautiful acting performance, what a beautiful cinematographic experience, what a beautiful story. It's really fascinating how you were able to bring all these beautiful talents that I would say have diverse backgrounds, diverse origins, but I think this is truly the mission of cinema, of world cinema, to bring all these beautiful, beautiful talents. So this movie definitely deserves an Academy Award just for that, to bring all these beautiful culture. So before we start to talk about the movie, I would love to know about yourself. Can you tell us where you're from and what brought you to become a producer?
Well, I am the producer and line producer of Polaris, as you mentioned. I am a member of the PGA, the Producers Guild of America. I was born in the United States in the Midwest and then progressively moved west. I landed in Los Angeles in 2009 and began producing after working more than a decade in law. Over the next 5 years, I helped to produce more than 60 independent projects and over 300 television episodes before venturing into production on feature films under my company banner, Cinematic Artistry. So it was about 2014 when I teamed up with the co-writers and the director, Sudhabe Maradian, to create Polaris. It's been a 5-year journey now to reach this point where we can bring the film to a worldwide audience. It first released in theaters in Iran, and now it's available on Amazon and iTunes, to be followed by subscription platforms such as Hulu, Comcast, Dish, and DirecTV. Sudhabe began her writing and directing career in Tehran before coming to the United States. And from the start, it was one of the primary goals to bring this film back to the women of Iran. That is what has taken us so long to reach market on this film. It has been quite a journey. That was never a certain endeavor that we were actually going to achieve that goal. However, Polaris just finished a 6-month theatrical run in Iran.
Wow.
That's an incredible feat. I don't know how much you know about the nature of entertainment in Iran, but a drama that plays a strong female lead, created by female filmmakers, is not an ordinary occurrence. And moreover, it's not possible to just simply distribute a film in Iran. Distribution in Iran requires censorship review, and it requires that a license be granted from the Ministry of the Culture of Iran, which is a process that took 2 years to achieve.
But I think that the beauty of that movie, the wonderful skills that were brought in that movie, I think they transcend any sort of boundaries between people, politics, government, etc. and it brings one beautiful culture, which is doing great things with ourselves. And this movie really perfectly illustrates all of that. And of course, we say hello to all the beautiful people of Iran, this beautiful culture, and they are so good in movies. Like I had the pleasure to meet a couple of Iranian either producers or directors, and there's such a beautiful school out there. So one thing that is really interesting in you is that you hold a dual degrees in business and in law. So that means that if I have a contract with you, it better be right?
It's going to be right. That's one of the things that I do bring. It's been extremely helpful. You'd be shocked and amazed at how much of producing involves law. And contracts is a very big element of that, dealing with government agencies, dealing with unions, dealing with permits, dealing with all kinds of different licensing and issues and product placement and all that kind of thing. It comes into play every single day in what I do. But I'm so glad that you have an appreciation for the Iranian culture and the Iranian cinema. It's not often that we get to do an American-Iranian collaboration such as this. It's kind of a rare thing, and I'm glad that you appreciated the diversity of the film.
No,
definitely. Very intentional.
Definitely, and there is. I'm going to definitely pass that movie to my dear friends at the Arab American Chamber of Commerce, because I believe that this is a movie that should be strongly supported by such organization. There is other great organizations, especially with women of Iran and America doing things together. And this is, I believe, a movie that should be definitely go all across the world and shown into all these sort of organizations. But before that, we show the love of the Iranian culture. It's before and above all a great movie. It's nice on top of that if it is by women, if it is by Iranian culture, but most importantly, you can see also a great movie, beautiful story, beautiful acting, really. So this is not the first thing that you're producing. You produced a lot of beautiful things, whether it's TV series, also yourself as an actress, you have quite accomplished. So is it something that you think made you a better producer because you have, I would say, a 360 degrees knowledge, because you know the business, you know the laws, you have the actress background, so that can make you understand, I would say, all the aspects of what a movie implies.
I like to think so. I know everybody comes to producing from a different route and brings different skills, but I've certainly been able to leverage my past experiences with all of those things to bring the kinds of insights to become the kind of producer that I would want to work with. It helps. It absolutely helps. And I know that we always try and do our best, but Polaris is honestly something that I am just extremely proud and passionate about. It was intentionally created to be able to very subtly create some kind of social change in the world, to bring a little bit of light on a subject and help to plant some seeds of change. And it's those kinds of projects that have, a cause-driven message that tend to really make me the most passionate. So I was definitely bringing all those skills to bear in order to do the very best I could to do justice to this story and to what it was trying to achieve. Polaris does not it does not hit you over the head with, what you should think or, cultural change. And instead, it comes about it very, very subtly. And in that way, it tangentially addresses universal issues that are attendant to cultural diversity and women's rights and the human impact of war that are non-political and timeless issues. But they also can be very touchy subjects for people.
We need that, definitely. We need that. And one thing that I really appreciate in you, as a producer myself, is that you always are on the front line to defend the movies that you're producing. Like, you cannot find one photo in one film festival where the movie has been played where you were not there, taking the mic and defending it and talking about it and bringing the importance and supporting your cast also and giving them a spot. And this is really something that is really, really beautiful. I want you to know that you're really bringing honor to the profession of the producer, because people think that, producer is the person who signs the checks. Not at all. Not at all. So,
no, I definitely take the role of advocating on behalf of the project, on behalf of its goals, and on behalf of its talents that were brought to bear in order to make it, very seriously. The role of advocating on behalf of all of that is crucial. I'm not one of those people that just makes a film and then walks away and on to the next project. I see it all the way through from cradle to grave.
Exactly. I love how you said from cradle to grave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's beautiful. I didn't know that expression, but I love it. I love it. So, okay, so now what is next for this movie? Because I want to see that movie in a lot of schools. I want to see that movie by many, many organizations. I want to see that movie as, I would say, a platform to bring dialogues between people. I want to see that movie as, I would say, a breakthrough between misconception of, by example, the Iranian culture that we can see from the U.S. And unfortunately, sometimes, we see only not necessarily the best side of it. But in this movie, this is nothing but the best side. I was talking with Alicia, and I said, this is really a masterpiece in terms of really acting. Like, you have so much intense scenes, and also the way the light is used is very interesting. And the way the camera sometimes does the point of view is you feel you are in the room with the actors. It's hard to describe.
Mm-hmm.
But, by example, there's beautiful shots when they're moving in on the sidewalk and the camera is shaking. So you really feel you are there in the streets, and you hear the heart beating of the actors. I mean, it's really beautifully directed and beautifully produced. So before we start,
thank you. Yeah, it is very, very intimate, and it was designed to be a very intimate look into these people's lives. It all takes place, over one night behind closed doors, and we were absolutely blessed to get the cast that we got. Alicia took her preparations quite seriously, and she truly embodied the character. She actually had to speak some lines in Farsi. The film is primarily in English, but, it's about maybe 20% in Farsi, and Farsi is not a language that Alicia spoke, although she speaks Beni, and Farsi is quite difficult. But she committed herself to learning how to speak those lines in Farsi. And she also studied with and consulted privately with soldiers who had returned from the battlefields suffering from PTSD in order to be able to authentically play that part of her character and her role as well.
So she told me that beautiful story about that through acting he was able to recover from PTSD, and I thought that was really, really beautiful message that was really set up there. So before we start to say goodbye to each other, because unfortunately I'm tied with time, and I could talk about hours about this phenomenal movie. Can you tell me why should I go to see that movie? I mean, I've seen it 10 times, but why? Let's imagine I've never seen it. Why should I go to see this movie? Why can I see in that film that I will not see anywhere else, and I would love to hear it from the producer point of view?
Well, honestly, I'm obviously very passionate about this film and the seeds of change that it could possibly have in culture and between our countries. But from an audience's perspective, it's a great film to watch. It is the performances in this film are absolutely spectacular. The actors often rely heavily on dialogue to carry out a performance, but the dialogue in Polaris resides merely on the surface in this film. Much of what transpires in this film is the unspoken undercurrents and what is not being said, and the mastery with which Alicia and Kobe were able to withhold what needed to be withheld and merely hint at what lay beneath went far beyond my expectations. It is those intricately nuanced performances coupled with the layered revelations of the story and the characters that come together and reveal themselves toward the end of the film that have caused so many viewers to immediately tell me that they have to watch it again. And it's one of those films that stands up to multiple viewings with greater appreciation each time for those performances. What those actors knew and when they knew it, what they conveyed with their tone, their expressions, their mannerisms, their eyes. I mean, honestly, so much hard work goes into making a film, and I could go on for days about the trials and tribulations of filmmaking, but nobody cares about how grueling my job was and the nuts and bolts of it. In the end, what matters is those actors, those characters, that story, what is on screen. And yes, they brought it all home. It is a wonderful experience. Exactly.
A wonderful, wonderful experience and beautiful, beautiful artist. As you say, Alicia Bachleda, wonderful actor. Baram Radan, please go to check out his work. It's phenomenal. Kobe Ryan McLaughlin, Elizabeth Rome, Tasha Smith, Diane Gaeta, Roya Taymorian, and many, many other wonderful, wonderful artists. As a dear friend, Christina just mentioned, you can purchase that movie on Amazon, but also it will be soon in many other platforms. But don't wait for that. Go to purchase it. From what I can see, it's only $4.99. And really, it's really beautiful, one of the most beautiful pieces of drama that you can find around. And definitely, if you ever see a movie and there is the name of Christina Jo'Leigh attached, then this is something that you should definitely follow and watch. My dear Christina, this is your show. This is your radio. You have the keys. You can call me anytime for your next movie, your next project. This is your show.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Serero. I had the pleasure to have Christina Jo'Leigh over the phone to talk about a wonderful new movie as a producer that is called Polaris. Polaris, please go to watch this great movie, Polaris, Polaris. More music to come now on iHeartRadio. Stay tuned.
Are you feeling better, sweetheart? My wife happens to be a photojournalist. A war photographer. Honey, I'm getting worried about you. It's the side effects of the pills, right?
I could have made a family for him and a life for him here if that damn bomb wouldn't have gone off.
Don't be fooled by her appearance. This is how she looks to others.
Don't say anything to him. He's a man. He has pride.
Listen to me.
What?
This is a couple of days we're talking about.
So many dreams I had for this life.
I'm afraid that you're gonna relapse if you stay.
An illusion? I have showed you all the documents. Are you telling me it's an illusion?
What document? حالا من با چه امید این دختر رو برگردونمش ایران؟
I lost you in the world, didn't I?
You wanted me to get lost.
بس نداری یه حالی میشی
English, please.
I am fighting with my wife in any language I want.
Not my house.
Why making a big deal out of it? Nothing happened.
Are you stupid? Do you need a bomb to explode to see that something happened?
کجایی؟ 100 دفعه بهت زنگ زدم چرا جواب نمیدی؟
Don't touch it.